Okay, I want to carry on and with this video series for front sheets and assignment briefs. This is the IV sheet for an assignment brief, and this needs to be filled in by someone other than yourself before you hand out the assignment. So you need to do your front sheet, you need to do your assignment brief for the students, and then you need to get this IV'd. So the internal verifier's job is to check that the assessment criteria and the tasks are relevant, to check that there's a sufficient amount of feedback going to be given back, so that's where the front sheet comes in, to check that the student is aware of the criteria they're working towards and it's been signposted throughout, and to check the scenarios and they're generally appropriate, fit for purpose. Before you give this sheet to your IV, I would fill in the award, so BTEC Extended Diploma in Applied Science. And if you're using it for medical, if you're using it for two groups, I think it's fine to put medical and forensics. There's really no point in having two sheets. Next thing you want to put in your unit, so I'm going to continue the theme, I'm going to put Unit 4. Assessor is me, so Nicholas Backstrom. And this is once you've done that, then it's nice and easy for the verifier to check, and if we all do it, then it's going to be easy for all of us. The internal verifier then is going to check through and check that everything is correct. So are accurate program details shown? Well, yes. Are accurate unit details shown? Well, I've got all the criteria in there, so that would be yes. A clear deadline shown? Well, they should be if you've filled in your front sheet correctly. But one thing to consider here, which I haven't put in on my sheet here, is it's deadlines, date set, and date to be submitted. Really, when you've got multiple assignments in one go, I would say that it would be good to have a little section there, which I haven't got here, to say when it's going to be submitted. So I think it should have a deadline here. I could add deadline here and put in my deadline. Because I haven't put it, and if I was going to be internally verify this myself, I would say I would ring at the no with a pencil or pen or pencil, and I'd just put in the comment there, needs deadlines for individual tasks. So the student is clear about the portfolio. So I would then I would have to hand this back to myself in this case, and I would check through and add some deadlines and resubmit it. Is the assignment for a whole or part of the unit? So this would be whole, so let's fill this in correctly. So yes. So, and if you don't have to put a comment, then don't put a comment. Are the assessment and grading criteria addressed? Well, they certainly are. We've gone through that. Does each task show which criteria are addressed? Yes, we do. Are the criteria actually addressed by the task? Well, I think so. What you must check. Is it clear what evidence the learner needs to generate? Well, I've definitely done that on the guidance sheets. Are activities appropriate? Well, they are school-based, so they are. Is there a scenario of vocational context? Yes, there is, so we meet the criteria there. Is the language and presentation appropriate? I think so. Is the time scale for the assignment appropriate? Well, I think the time scale of 12 weeks is, so yes. Overall, is it fit for purpose? Well, I would say it's fit for purpose, it just needs those deadlines changing, and so we can say yes. The internal verifier puts their name in there, Mr. X, and they date it, and this is for the lead internal verifier, which we haven't got one yet. Action required, so you can just put in there, need to add deadlines for individual tasks. and then the person would say action taken, and then the assessor would sign it and the internal verifier would sign it when they're clear that it's all been changed. So in this case I'd have to go back onto mine and add a deadline section to each of my tasks, and once I've done that I could resubmit it and it get passed. So that's what the IV is there for. It's to check. We all make mistakes. It all looks nice and clear, and as we go through the list we realise that we've missed something, and it's a good checker for yourself to have this out and just give yourself the self-assessment before you hand it in. Okay, so I hope this was useful. Once you finish this you need to hand it in to the IV cupboard. Thanks.